Welcome back, guys and girls. This is Gamers Garage, and I am Tate, your host for the night. SP is with us tonight. Um, we'll see what we can get going. So, how you been? What you been doing over there, SP?
Oh, I'm always doing something. Working on some new content I'm going to release in a few days. If everything falls together as it should. Thanks for having me on the show, by the way. I can't wait to dig right into some discussion and see what happens.
I figure since we've been having a bunch of crazy discussions, we'll go into one of your favorite topics tonight. We'll do some science.
Let's science it up in here. It's getting sciencey in here, so leave all of your clothes on. That's my song.
They say we're going to talk a little nerdy.
Yeah, put on some more clothes.
We're going to talk a little nerdy to our audience tonight. Okay, D. Earlier on, we were talking about the MK Ultra project. What all do you know about that, bro?
Well, I know some small facts about it. I haven't, there's people out there. There's a lot to know about the MK Ultra project. There's been WikiLeaks leaked onto the internet, the whole record of the event as it transpired. There's so much more to know about MK Ultra than I know. I just know some key facts about it. I know that at certain times in our nation's history, the government has taken liberties and performed experiments on people for various reasons just to see if these experiments would work, whether it was for weapons of war or just to see, what progress can be made by science. I know that experiments have been involved using drugs, abduction, impregnation, sexual acts. They gave an entire town syphilis just to see what the effects of the syphilis would be if it was left completely untreated. And when these people went to the doctor to say, hey, what's wrong with me? The doctors were informed to tell them, oh, well, you have bad blood. You've got bad blood. And that's all they were ever told. I do know that at one point in time, Bill Clinton made a public apology talking about how terrible these experiments were to do on our own people or anyone for that matter, and that it happened at a different time in our nation's history and that they would like the past to be put behind us. I do know that, women were abducted, sexual acts and drugs were performed upon these women against their will. Except for the key facts and the things that I've just told you, my knowledge of MK Ultra is there's so much a person could really read and study and know about what really went down.
Okay. I'll tell you what I know from memory. It's been quite a while since I even fooled with brushing up on it. It's been probably close to 8 years, to be honest. It was a town in Philadelphia or Pennsylvania. I think Philadelphia is part of Pennsylvania, not for sure. My geography sucks.
Can I interject for just a moment? When it comes to Philadelphia, there was the is this a correct event or am I remembering things wrongly? There was a Philadelphia experiment, correct?
Mm-hmm. That's part. We'll go back to MK Ultra.
Okay.
I think it's Pennsylvania or Philadelphia. It's somewhere up north. My geography sucks. But there was a small town where they were putting LSD, which is a lysergic acid,
Yeah.
into the water system. And they weren't telling anybody for over a decade, man. And they combined it with subliminal messages to see if they could trigger any type of mind control in these people.
And do you know any information about the accuracy of these experiments? Were any of them ever deemed successful? were there statistics released about these experiments and of their success or failures? Or was these experiments, were these experiments just admitted to have, transpired?
As far as I can remember, at that point in time, it was just that they had come out to light, and this was shortly after President Clinton had issued kind of a apology, but he never really stated exactly what all for.
This report I received today is a monumental document in more ways than one. But it is a very, very important piece of America's history, and it will shape America's future in ways that will make us a more honorable, more successful, and more ethical country. What this committee learned, I would like to review today with a little more detail than Dr. Freyden said, because I think it must be engraved on our national memory. Thousands of government-sponsored experiments did take place at hospitals, universities, and military bases around our nation. The goal was to understand the effects of radiation exposure on the human body. While most of the tests were ethical by any standards, some were unethical, not only by today's standards, but by the standards of the time in which they were conducted. They failed both the test of our national values and the test of humanity. Informed consent means your doctor tells you the risk of the treatment you are about to undergo. In too many cases, informed consent was withheld. Americans were kept in the dark about the effects of what was being done to them. The deception extended beyond the test subjects themselves to encompass their families and the American people as a whole. For these experiments were kept secret, and they were shrouded not for a compelling reason of national security, but for the simple fear of embarrassment, and that was wrong. So today, on behalf of another generation of American leaders and another generation of American citizens, the United States of America offers a sincere apology to those of our citizens who were subjected to these experiments, to their families, and to their communities. When the government does wrong, we have a moral responsibility to admit it. The duty we owe to one another to tell the truth and to protect our fellow citizens from excesses like these is one we can never walk away from. Our government failed in that duty, and it offers an apology to the survivors and their families, and to all the American people who must be able to rely upon the United States to keep its word, to tell the truth, and to do the right thing. Make no mistake, as the committee report says, there are circumstances where compensation is appropriate as a matter of ethics and principle. I am committed to seeing to it that the United States of America lives up to its responsibility. Our greatness is measured not only in how we so frequently do right, but also how we act when we know we've done the wrong thing, how we confront our mistakes, make our apologies, and take action. That's why this morning I signed an executive order instructing every arm and agency of our government that conducts, supports, or regulates research involving human beings to review immediately their procedures in light of the recommendations of this report and the best knowledge and standards available today, and to report back to me by Christmas.
Well, see, that that was kind of why I mentioned those released reports. If I'm not mistaken, I believe those experiments are detailed in the reports that were released.
It may be they've released a lot of stuff here lately. Well, within the last 10 years.